What's up, everybody? This is Stalker Maniac here, and in today's video I will be showing you my whole portfolio and how I was able to get it from $0 to $300. Uh, when I first started the stock market, and starting with the Robinhood app, I had no idea what I was doing. So at the beginning, I was kind of testing things out. There were some successes and some failures, but what's really nice is that I was able to start investing with a couple of dollars and was able to grow from it and started adding, $13 here, $5 here, and so on and so forth. So eventually it all adds up, and I've actually gained on my investments. So I'm just going to stop talking and I'm going to show you what I have so far, what's in my portfolio basically. So the first one is PowerShares S&P 500 high dividend, and what's nice about this one, this is actually an ETF, which is compiled of many companies into one, you know, and this is actually a monthly dividend yield, and so it's about, let's see here. So the dividend yield is about 5.1%, which is pretty good, and every month I get a dividends. So every month so far, I've been getting about 16 cents a share, and really solid, and it's not as volatile. It was actually doing really well before the pandemic hit, and then it kind of crashed a little bit, dipped, but then it's mostly recovered for the most part and stabilized. So it's I would say a medium risk stock. It's not horrible. It's not like the riskiest of them all, but I think I just think it's great. I think it's really great, and I'll probably keep this for a long time. Up next, I have AT&T. The internet. Uh, AT&T. Well, AT&T. They have HBO. They have cell phones and internet and all sorts of stuff. But the only controversy on this one is that their dividend yield is what is considered to be a little bit high. Actually, down on them by $1.57, and their dividend yield. The rule about dividends is less than 5%. Anything over is a little risky, because we want to make sure that the company can sustain itself and be able to give that dividend back. So a dividend is about a month, or every quarter, I should say. This is a quarter dividend, and it roughly goes about 52 to 53 cents, just depends. And I think it's going to be here for the long run. I had no issues with it. It stayed relatively stable. Was high, kind of crash dipped a little bit during the pandemic, but overall it's been pretty stable, and I will definitely be keeping this stock as well. Up next is Plug Power. Now, what's interesting about Plug Power is this is actually one of the first stocks I've ever owned, and I ended up buying it. So I ended up buying it for 2 shares for $2.51, and I've held on to it, and I'm up 851.39%, up $42. This is incredible. This was so unexpected because this was a more speculative stock, in my opinion. We weren't sure if it was going to go up or down. We didn't know, but I do believe in where we're going for the future in electric cars, and switching over to maybe fusion energy and relying more on electricity for cars and solar panels and all that stuff. So I think that's where we're going, and it's a great disruptor to the oil and gas industry. And it's very innovative, and it's just fascinating. So I'm definitely going to be holding on to Power Plug, and I won't be selling this anytime soon. Up next is Blink Charging. Again, this is a company. I'm up on them. I bought this relatively cheap at $2.48. Only 2 shares because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I'm up 800%, $39.70. It's just incredible. The EV, the electric car, it's booming right now, and new energy, it's booming right now. So again, I'm not gonna get rid of this quite yet. I'm gonna hang on to these for quite some time. I think it has potential more room for growth. So just real quick, Blink Charging is basically a charging station to charge up your electric car. So if you're going on a trip and you need to charge up your electric car, well, Blink Charging's there for you, so you don't have to necessarily rely on Tesla's charging stations. So it gives it more competition, and so there's not a whole monopoly on the charging stations, basically. Up next is Wendy's. Let's see. I'm up on them, $8, about 61%, $8.29. I actually bought them during the coronavirus, the pandemic dip, for about $13.43 a share. I only bought 1 share. I think this definitely, ever since then, it's been relatively stable. But I think this company definitely has room to grow. I don't think I've eaten there obviously, and I like their food, and I think it just has more room to grow, and I think it can, and it does give off a little dividend yield, 1.32%, and that's roughly about 5 cents per quarter. So not too bad, but I'd rather have it low and have it continue to give off the dividend, and so it doesn't become so unstable. So, but I think I'm still definitely going to hang on to it, but I think it's more of I think it has more room for growth. Up next is KeyBank. I actually got this one on the dip for about, let's see here, $12.16, up on them 31%. And this is a key bank. I think it has another one that has room to grow. I think, with banking and cryptocurrency, I think it's a challenge for cryptocurrency is like challenging the bank system. But I still think, I think it'll still be around. And, a dividend is, I'm actually pending it, 19 cents per quarter, which is not bad. It's actually pretty good. So I'm definitely going to hang on to KeyBank, and we'll see what happens. The next one is American Airlines. Got this one on the dip, and it's just been, I'm up on them slightly, 8%, which is not much. But I think this is one for the long one, because obviously during the pandemic, no one's traveling, and this is gonna be the one you have to. I think I'm gonna have to hold on to this one for a really long time. But it's actually suspended its dividends because it usually gives out a 2.83% dividend, but they've kind of stopped that right now because of COVID, and so we'll see what happens with this one. But I still like the company. I think it's just we have to get out of once everyone gets vaccinated and when we're through the pandemic. I think it will go up. I think it will be okay. The Global X Super Dividends ETM, one of the most riskiest stocks I own, which I think I might be trading it out pretty soon, and we'll do a video where I'll relocate the funds. So this is actually a monthly dividend yield, very risky. Let me show you. During the when the stock market was getting slammed because of the pandemic, it was roughly trading at 17, and then it crashed immediately to about like $8. It lost basically half its value. And, as time went on, it kind of mostly recovered, but I should preach what I teach. And I think I will sell this, and I'll probably put it into another stock or another fund. So stay tuned for that video. This is a monthly dividend yield, but I will not recommend it. Maybe you could try it if you feeling a little adventurous. But this is about cents per once a month dividend. So yeah, I don't know. I was kind of experimenting a little bit, but I think my experiment might be over. Up next is Ford. Definitely has room to growth. It has. I believe that Ford will make the changes to start moving into the electric car technology and business and kind of being a competitor to Tesla. So again, it has suspended its dividends due to the pandemic, but it will. They have said that it will return sometime next year, but they're just not ready for it yet. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. But I think Ford has room for growth and to remodel their business plans. So I think they'll switch over to the electric company, the electric car company. Up next is Nano Dimensions. Now this one was actually recommended by Kathy Woods from Arc Innovation, and I'll have a video about her later on because if you don't know who she is, so Nano Dimensions is basically manufactures 3D printing, and it's not the 3D printing that as you would think for like crafts and whatnot, or model trains or whatnot. Nano Dimensions is very disruptive, and I think this is where we're going to go next into is terms of manufacturing. Nano Dimensions has this printer, and it manufactures and creates these 3D printers, and it's basically to create like electronic circuits, antennas, captors, sensors, medical supplies, a lot of things, parts for the military, stuff for maybe buildings, or little parts for buildings or structures, and just little things that we don't really would think would come from a 3D printing, but every little bit helps. I own 5 shares, and the average cost that I bought them was $3.50, and I'm actually up 93%. So I'm plus $16.44, which is incredible. So I'm definitely going to hang on to this one, and I'm just going to see what happens. So that's Nano Dimensions, so that's pretty good. And then next is Aqua Bounty. Now, Aqua Bounty is kind of an interesting one. Aqua Bounty, I'm actually, let's see, I'm up on them 47%. So basically, Aqua Bounty is basically it it has a social responsibility, and it's doing a different it's a different way of doing fish hatcheries for fish farming. So they primarily work with salmons and growing salmons, and but in a responsible way, and doing and that's great tasting, but using less GMOs or any of the growth chemicals. So they do it really naturally. So I find them very interesting. So I'm along for the ride, and so I'm excited about this one. So I'm definitely going to hang on to these shares, and we'll see what happens. Up next, I have a fractional share in Bank of America, only about $10.28. I think it's one of the most better banks out there to choose from, even though that they are being challenged by the cryptocurrency and whatnot. I still think this is still a solid bank, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. And it gives off a really pretty good dividend yield at 2.56%. And I'm definitely going to hang on to it and hopefully later acquire the full share of, So I think this is definitely a good bank to hold on to in the long run. Up next is Apple, a very small fractional share into Apple, $5.20. I plan on, again, contributing more to get the full share. Nothing good about this, this is a very good company. We all love our iPhones, our MacBooks, our iPads, and all the services that come with it. Definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. Dividend yield of 0.68%. Solid dividend yield. This is going to be around for a very long time, and when I do acquire the whole share, I plan on holding it for my lifetime, my whole lifetime. Next is cryptocurrencies. Now, I have $11.39 into Dogecoins. Now, Dogecoin was actually very funny when cryptocurrencies were starting to come out. They actually did this as a joke because they didn't want to be taken. It was kind of like a joke in the cryptocurrency community, and and then it kind of didn't become a joke. You know, people started investing in it. So a whole Dogecoin is literally less than a penny. So I currently have 3,342 Doge coins at 0.0091987. Basically, it's less than a penny. And I'm just going to hold on to it and we'll see what happens. Up next is I have one Ethereum Classic cryptocurrency. I originally got it when it was $3.91, and now I'm up about 59.61%. I'm just going to hang on to it. I actually originally acquired it when the stock market was crashing during the pandemic scare. And I said, you know what, let me just buy one. So I'm just going to hang on to it. We'll see what happens. I think cryptocurrency is the future, and I think more companies is actually already starting to warm up to the idea of cryptocurrency. So that's pretty much it for my little over $300 portfolio. If you don't have a Robinhood account and want to join in on the fun, I will leave a link down in the description box, and if you sign up, we each both get one free stock. I'm very excited to continue updating you guys on my progress and this journey into the stock market, and I'll see you in the next video.